afternoon. My name is Becky. It is Sunday afternoon, the 16th maybe. Let's see here. Yes, the 16th. And I am back in Texas. I drove back down last week from Denver with my daughter's puppy in tow. So we have him for 3 weeks while she travels. And then my husband and I will drive him back home, and then she'll be on her own. So that'll be something for me to look forward to. So welcome today. I'm going to be sharing my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 seasonal rotation, and I'll show you some of the seasonal things that I'm working on. And if you're new here, welcome. And if you've stuck with me for so long, I welcome you back too. I really enjoyed all your comments last time. So, welcome. First off, I want to apologize. These will not be ironed. I felt that if I took the time to iron them for you before I knew it, the puppy would be awake and I would have lost some time. So I'm just going to dive right in with what I've done the last 2 weeks. I am mostly stitching from Winds of Autumn, a book by Blackbird Designs, for my autumn stitching. And I really do love this book. I've seen a lot of beautiful things you guys have been doing and posting on Instagram from it, and that encourages me all the more to stitch along too. So first up is actually something that is not from Winds of Autumn. It was a retreat piece last year. I went to the Quilter Station retreat, and Alma was there from Blackbird Designs, and she designed this sweet little bag for us called Delicious Autumn. And she also kitted us up with another sweet design. This little fall gatherings. And those were displayed beautifully on the table together, and I plan to do the same. I'm going to put a picture of it right here so you can see how she beautifully displayed it. So first off, I worked 5 days on Delicious Autumn. This is the other one. This is Fall Gatherings. It's a squirrel. So, oh my goodness, this is really wrinkled. Sometimes when I'm trying to stitch with a puppy around, I have to jump up real quick. I quickly just shove it in my project bag, and this was the case. So here it is. It's really beautiful, the colors. Delicious Autumn, and I plan to finish it just like this. Alma gave us the lovely backing for it and the ribbon. So hopefully with this next round, I'll have it all finished up and sewn up for you. So 5 days on this one. All right, the next thing I worked on for 4 days was Penny Autumn by Plum Street Samplery, and that is this. It's been in my stash for a long time, probably when it was released. And so this year I took the plunge, and it's fun. I really am enjoying this one. So here it is, Penny Autumn. I've got the flower on one side, half of the house, and then the last day I stitched the quilting motifs. And that's just really pretty. The colors are, yeah. On my screen, the colors aren't showing accurate. So I will have to check this and see if maybe I want to refilm this with my good camera. So that's Penny Autumn, and I will frame it just like that. So that was 4 days on Penny Autumn. Then 3 days I worked on the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom. And that's a Not Forgotten Farms pattern. I'm stitching it on 32 count natural, and I forgot to tell you guys what all these were. Looks like all of them are 36 count Ren. And everything's with the called for colors. But this is 32 count natural by Zweigart. I'm using 2 threads. And I've been seeing you guys just whip this thing out. And I don't know how you did that, but it's a lot of stitching for me. So this last time I almost finished the border. So on this next rotation, I'm going to focus on finishing the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom. And I will do the little cat right down here. And I'm not sure if I will finish that this next rotation. It gets 3 days, and it will stay in the 3-day spot this next time. All right, 2 days. For 2 days, what did I work on for 2 days? Well, let me check my notes. Oh yes, for 2 days I worked on, I'm not sure if it's even in here. Let me take a quick look. I'll be right back. Oh, here it is. For 2 days, I worked on, let me get the Winds of Autumn book so I can show you what it's supposed to look like. For 2 days, I worked on this sweet little pillow called Waiting for the Harvest. And I posted it on Instagram, and I asked all you guys to help me decide if I wanted to stitch it all in Onyx or in Harvest, Gentle Arts. I think it's Gentle Arts Harvest. And many of you weighed in and said you thought that the bird should be black and everything else orange. But the predominant opinion was the orange color, which I love. And so I started that. I have decided that I'm not going to do the B and the A, Barb Alma, because my last name starts with a W and it is huge. So I might rearrange the birds, or I might just have the 4 birds there and leave those corners blank. I'm not sure. But let me show you what I've done. This is on a 32 count Zweigart natural that I bought from Hobby Lobby, and whew, these colors are getting blown out. Still not really where it should be, but because the orange is much darker. I actually took this Swigart and I made a cinnamon tea and I dunked it in the cinnamon tea and I went off and forgot about it. Came back several hours later, so this is more of a warmish brown color. And I love it. And I really do like this color that I'm stitching with. It's pouring down rain outside. That's pretty awesome. So the color I'm using is hazelnut. Sorry, I called it harvest, and you really can't really tell. I'm gonna have to order some more because I'm not gonna have enough. I'm stitching with 2 threads. Okay, so that got 2 days. And the last thing that I worked on for 1 day is I started that little squirrel drum. And I didn't get too far at all. This is all I got, which is just the top. I'm all unorganized. I am so sorry. It's just the top of the squirrel. So that is my autumn rotation. I will continue with it until those pieces are done. I'm meaning for it to be a quarterly rotation, but when I'm done with these, I'll probably start putting some Christmas things in. Everything's going to be a whip. I am turning 66 this month, and unlike some people out there in FlossTube, I am not starting 66 things. I've made the decision that I would like everything on my whip list to be down to 3 items by the time I turn 70. I want to go out with not much stuff around me. I'm really trying to simplify. That's kind of what my husband and I, that's kind of our long range goal of just continuing to simplify more and more, and that's what I've decided to do. I think I have on my whip list 39 things, so I'll be busy, and I'm going to tell you about my rotation next. Okay, I'm back to tell you how I'm going to go about trying to get all my whips down. I'm going to turn the light on because it's really raining outside, and I wanted to go back and show you this with the light on because it shows the colors a little better, and they're just really pretty. Okay, so how do I start? I saw Olivia, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, was talking about something she was going to start for a friend of ours, Yvette's birthday. And I know Olivia stitches a lot of things with Yvette, and I also know that Olivia has gotten her mocking basket of shame, or is it her mocking basket of whips, down to 3 things. And I was really proud of her when she did that. And I also know that Yvette and Carol have been working for a few years here, getting their whip basket down. And so I just really felt like I wanted to do that too. And so I immediately wanted to do Yvette's birthday start because it's on my bucket list. And I've been thinking a lot lately about if I didn't have much longer to stitch, you know, should something happen to me physically to make that not probable anymore, or if I found out I only had so much longer to live. I know that sounds morbid, but these are the kind of things you think about when you get older. What do I absolutely want on my wall? You know, if I had limited time, and this was one of them. I've had this for a long, long time, and I hope you can't hear the white noise in the background. We play white noise for the puppy, and it has gone into some really weird music right now that I can hear that does not sound like white noise. But I love this. I love Elizabeth Furness for so many reasons. First of all, I love the verse because they doing research, they think that it was John Newton who composed it for his niece, and John Newton was the man who wrote Amazing Grace, and he's also the man that was very dark into slave trade in England, and was convicted of that and came to have faith in Christ. And this song, Amazing Grace, was part of that. Because he felt like a wretch. Anyways, not to go off into that, but they think that he wrote this, and he thinks this verse was, they think, Hands Across the Sea think that also Isaac Watts may have used it, and I love all of Isaac Watts' hymns. So that's one reason I like it. Of course, I love Adam and Eve. I love these great big flowers. I've always loved this house. I remember early on when I was making thread keeps, somebody requested that I make them a thread keep with that house on it. So of course I bought the pattern when I saw it. And another thing I absolutely love is this patchwork green down here with all the animals, especially the zebras. I love that. I love this chicken. I love this man and this woman, and they're little Westies. I'm gonna call them Westies right down there. So I just love so many things about this. Now, it's a big girl. She is 347 by 358. And I'm stitching it on Bee's Knees by Seraphim, which Christy Crosshatch Quilt said is very similar to Vintage Sand Dune Lakeside, which is what this calls for. I am actually going to go with the DMC for this. I have several other things kitted with silks, and there's a long list back here. So Olivia's doing it in DMC, Christy's doing it in silk, and Yvette's doing it in silk. So the four of us are doing this, and I'm super excited about that. So in the process of chatting with them, I just asked Yvette if she would help me get my whips down, and she said of course she would. Tell you more about that in a second, but let me show you what I have so far. So this is what I have so far. So as you see, when I back up, it's a little more sandy colored, I guess. When I zoom in, it washes it out, but you can see the stitches with those beautiful flowers that look like carnations to me. They are not going to do this red border around it, and so I'll probably rip this out because I noticed on the front cover, whoever framed it framed over the border. You can see a little bit of the red right here and over here where they just came in and framed around that. Is that beautiful? I love it. So anyhow, I picked a vet's brain. She told me how she worked hers down, her whips down. And she said she started from the smallest to the largest. And I have all my whips categorized by extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. Sadly, this girl is drawn to all the extra larges because that by far makes up the majority of my list. So I'm going to start with some smalls, but I will have a extra large going, and I will do what Yvette did. And Carol, I don't know if you did this, maybe you could weigh in, but she did a 1-3-3 rotation. So on Sundays she stitched on something, and then she had 3 projects and gave the other 2 3 days each, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'll show you what those are. And then come November, when I'm done with this whole autumn 5-4-3-2-1 rotation, I may just do this and just try to kick some of these out of the ballpark. So on Sundays, I have this all, let me take this out. My project bag is across the room. So I can't show you the picture, but I'm working on Peacock at Manor Hill. I started this on my birthday last year with another friend, and really all I have left to do is the gigantic tail right down here. Maybe there's something right here, I'm not sure. But I think that if I work on this on Sundays, I'll have it done, maybe in 3 Sundays. This is on my magic list, which is my annual Good Intentions contract that I do with the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild, the guild that I'm in. So I'll be able to complete that for that. So I love that. I really like that little house right there. Doesn't show up real well, but it's fine. So that's Manor at Peacock Hill. Well, no. Peacock on Manor Hill. I think that's what it is. So on Sundays, I will work on that until it's done, and then I'll plug something else in that slot. I'm going to work 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to work on Elizabeth Furness. She's brand new, but you know that bucket list. I need to make sure she's on my wall. And the other one I need to work on, I will work on, that I started for my birthday 4 years ago, is I want to finish up the Village of Hawk Run Hollow. So I'm working on that last block, which I'm doing the full coverage. Some people opted not to do that black. And I want to thank the woman who left a comment saying that the Anchor floss gives better coverage than DMC. So I knew that, but did I remember it? Nope. So this part right here, I started with the Anchor, and it has a little bit better coverage. It doesn't bother me that I mix and match things. So I'm working on the tombstones right now. When I'm done with the tombstones, I will work on the tree up there. When I'm done with the tree, I'll do all the little squiggly things, the UFOs, whatever they are. And then the last thing I will do is fill it all in with the black. So I think if I give that 3 days a week, I will hopefully finish it by the end of the month, which would be awesome. So that is my new rotation. and I'm excited to get these done. I have a lot of beautiful things I've started, so it will be fun to work on those. And occasionally I'm sure I'll start something, but for now I'm determined. I've got a lot of work to do in the next 4 years, and thanks Yvette, and thanks Olivia for inspiring me, and Carol, and you guys are just the best. So that's all I have to share today. I wish you a very wonderful Sunday. I hope you're resting and stitching. I hope you're finding joy in all the things around you and looking for those positive things out there. Thanks, guys. See you next time.